Hey guys, what's going on? This week on JSpeak, we cover some questions. First question, what is my preference, EL84s or EL34s? EL34 is my preference in a larger amp. You know, Laneys are good, Voxes are good, they run on EL84s. Mesa Lone Star Special had 84s in it. So there are good amps with 84s in them. I prefer EL34. I think if you're going for like the British crunch thing, it's predominantly EL34. EL84 is taking over the lunchbox type smaller amps, so everybody's got EL84s in their amps now. I would prefer to use EL34s. I think that's why some of the demos, it kind of gets interesting when you're running some amps that are EL34 based that are 20 watts and an EL84 based amp 20 watt. It's not really apples to apples. It's like an orange to an apple. They are going to sound different. Now, I have been impressed with the Friedman stuff, which will bring me to question 2, which was related to Pink Taco 20 up against the JCM 800, the Studio Classic. Those amps are fundamentally different. Friedman isn't trying to be a JCM 800. It's in a warmer dimension than the 800. The Pink Taco is not copying that circuit, so it's kind of unfair to judge one to the other. It was more of make a video just to compare the two because they are different. So it's like the Silver Jubilee against the Studio Vintage or the Studio Classic. They're different amps based on different eras for different things. I thought it'd be fun to compare the two. Now, the Pink Taco's got its own thing going on, and it is the Wildward version that I use, so it is slightly different than the normal Pink Taco. So, you know, we got the Runt here in the studio, so we are going to check out the Runt 20 at some point and see how that works. And we'll hit it up against the 800 and the Pink Taco. But what's my preference between those two amps? I think it depends on what you're trying to use it for. I really like the Studio Classic and the Studio Vintage. They're both great amps, but the Pink Taco does something different. I think it may be running in stereo and running them at the same time, you'd cover a huge spectrum. Very similar to the DSL20 and the Blackstar HT20. If you run them in stereo, which I believe someone actually made a comment about this, I'm sure it would be huge. Or if you throw the Mesa in there with the Blackstar, you can get a lot of different types of tones. So I wouldn't just write off an amp based off one demo for sure, but it really depends on the distortion you want to hear, and it goes back to the power tubes again. EL34s against 84s versus 6L6s or 6V6s, they all break up differently and they all showcase different frequencies in the spectrum, so you got to know what you like, and sometimes you just like a certain power tube and you roll with it. And that's all the questions for this week. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Please check out the Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.